Episode 6. The Call to Arms. After the altars of the idols were destroyed, Kael's name was spoken in whispers of anger and confusion. Some feared him, some waited for the wrath of the idols to befall him, and a few began to believe that there was a God, an Elohim who was greater and stronger than the gods of the Zakaras. But Kael, he wasn't done hiding yet. Not completely. The spark growing inside of him competed with the feeling that he was living on borrowed time. Daily, the priest of the grove seemed to lurk close by. Too much to be a coincidence. But they seemed to be held back from touching him by an invisible force stronger than their prayers, curses, and charms. Malak also watched, waiting and silently standing guard, out of sight. The unanswered questions he had about Tirzah would not become unanswered questions about Kael's rebellion against the idols in the grove. If the idols or the priests harmed Kael, Malak would know. He would be there. He would intervene. Dahran, Kael's father, encouraged him to move on as if nothing happened. "Kael, you must finish threshing the grain. Otherwise, we will starve in winter. No harm will come to you unless you remain distracted. We must finish and hide our portion." As the sun set, Kael threshed in the shadow of the hills of Benara. He tried to shake this feeling, but the Spirit of the Almighty One had come upon him. Not as a voice this time, but as a weight. A presence in his bones, in his breath. It moved through him like wind through dry branches. As he hid the last of the barley, he climbed the hill which stood at the edge of the village and lifted a ram's horn to his lips. The blast tore through the silence. He blew again, then again. This was not an ordinary alarm. The sound was carried far beyond the borders of the village. And slowly, the men came. Men came from the hills of Manasseh, from Zebulun, from Naphtali and Asher. Farmers, herders, servants, and sons. They came with staffs and sickles, wearing no armor, having no rank, no command, only hunger, anger, and a flicker of hope. They camped in the valley of Jezreel. Word reached Kael that the Zakaras were gathering across the plain like locusts, preparing to consume their crops. They were 2 days' journey away. Their camels were without number. Amalekites were among them too. They were coming to crush whatever spark remained in Benara. Although Kael had been moved by the Spirit of the Almighty One to blow the trumpet, he still hesitated. Something had to be done, but he didn't know what. It was all too new for him. That night, he laid a fleece of wool on the threshing floor. He knelt beside it and whispered, "Almighty One, if you will truly use me to save your people, show me. Give me a sign." He laid out a fleece of wool on the hard-packed ground. "If you are with me, let the dew fall only on the fleece, and not on the ground around it." At dawn, he returned. The ground was dry. The fleece was soaked. He wrung a bowlful of water from it. Still, doubt clung to him like dust. That night, he asked again, "Almighty One, this time, let the fleece be dry and the ground wet." Morning came. The fleece lay dry, but the earth glistened with the morning dew. Kael fell forward, his face to the ground and his hands in the dirt. Not in doubt this time, but in surrender. Truly, the Almighty was real. He was not a fable or myth, and he was with the Benara again. He stood, wiped the dust from his palms, and turned toward the campfires of his new army. The time had come. Join us next time for Episode 7. Shalom.